For testimony in the trial against the man accused of killing 3 men earlier this year, Artavius Richards is one of 2 men facing 3 counts of murder for the killings.
Yesterday, the jury heard from a woman who says she drove Richards to the house on Lewis Street where the men were killed. News Channel 15's Holly Campbell has been in the courtroom throughout the trial and joins us now live from the courthouse with what jurors heard today. Holly?
Well, the jurors are done hearing testimony in this case against Artavius Richards. Today, they heard from several witnesses, including the lead detective on this case. During the questioning of that detective, many of the questions revolved around the state's key witness, a woman who says she gave Richards and the other man facing charges in this case, Daryl McDaniels, a ride to the area of Lewis Street where the 3 men were found dead. Yesterday, on the stand, she testified that they talked about shooting the men after what the state is calling a robbery gone wrong. The detective was questioned about the number of times this woman changed her story during the investigation, and that's something the defense has pointed out all along, claiming she is not credible. We also learned that during an interview with detectives, she said the men never told her about shooting someone, that in fact she heard it on TV. We also heard from a mobile forensic expert. The focus of this testimony was on the location of that woman's cell phone, who again supposedly gave the 2 men a ride to that area, and McDaniel's cell phone. It's important to note that Richard's cell phone was never mentioned, and it was a very technical testimony throughout the entire time the mobile expert was on the stand. The state was trying to prove that the 2 were together, and again, Richards was supposedly with them, and the defense was trying to prove that they weren't in the same location. Brett and Heather?
Holly, there's been a lot of family at this trial, so how have they reacted so far to testimony?
Well, as you can imagine, a very emotional time for them. Yesterday, I saw a lot more emotion in the courtroom, a few people openly sobbing, and in fact, a few had to leave the courtroom. Today, still a large group that was there. It kind of dwindled toward the end. You could tell it was difficult for some people to hear what the things that were saying, but you could also tell that it was very important for them to be there, and they wanted to see how this all ends up.
Any idea when things will wrap up?
Yeah, this morning before lunch, the judge made an announcement, and they just made it again tonight when all testimony ended. Starting tomorrow morning at 9:30, both the defense and state will start with their closing arguments. Then they'll go to the jury for deliberation. It could end up sometime tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening.
Okay, thank you, Holly.